Live coverage of the Nebraska State High School basketball tournament. Direct from the Bob Devaney Sports Center in Lincoln, the boys' championship games brought to you in part by the B.F. Goodrich Dealers of Central Nebraska, and by your neighborhood True Value Hardware Store, and by Coca-Cola and your local Coca-Cola Bottling Company, and by First National Lincoln, a first-year company, and by McDonald's Restaurant, now introducing bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits for breakfast, and by NC Plus Hybrids and your local NC Plus dealer. Now here is KOLN KGIN TV Sports Director Dick Janda.
Hello and welcome to the Bob Devaney Sports Center for the first of 6 state boys championship tournament games. I'm Dick Janda, and with me to call all of the action today will be Jeff Small. Our first game of the day, the Class C2 championship between Grant and Scribner. Well, Dick, it should be a good game. Grant is the big favorite. Grant, of course, is a real traditional power down here at state. They've won 4 state titles. This is the first time Scribner has ever made it to the finals, so we'll have to see what unfolds. But Grant will be a big favorite. We'll be back with the start of the Class C2 championship after this timeout. Back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, we're ready to go with the first of 6 state championship games today, the Scribner Trojans and the Grant Plainsmen, the Class C2 championship. Grant is 23-1 this year. Their only loss came at the hands of Bayard, a Class C1 finalist, while Scribner is 16-6, but Scribner plays in the very tough East Husker Conference. They've had some very tough competition this year to get here to the finals. In Class C2, Grant defeated Henderson, the defending champion, 89-55 in what was a rematch of last year's state C2 championship game. Grant then beat Shelby by 3 points in the semifinals yesterday, while Scribner defeated O'Neill St. Mary 71-61 in the opening round, and then yesterday defeated Macy's to get here to the finals. Grant and Scribner, the C2 championship. Jeff, the man to watch for Grant is Ryan Young, the state's leading scorer, averaging 31.5 points per game. He scored 39 points in Grant's opening round win, then was held to 18 yesterday. For Scribner, more ballots. They have 4 men that average in double figures, led by 6'6" center Darryl Puff, who averages 16 points, 8 points per ball game. We're ready now for the introductions of the players for the game, and to do that, here's PA man Ed Kimball.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet the Scribner Trojans. The non-starters, number 12, Mark Carson. Number 14, Shane Dostal. 22, Darren Morris. 30, Joe Bartek. 32, John White. 34, Kyle Schnur. And 42, Cam Everett. Now, here are the starters for the Trojans. A 6'1" junior, number 10, Tim Wobkin. A 6' senior, number 20, Jim Mauck. A 6'1" junior, number 24, Byron Alberts. A 6'4" senior, number 40, Pat Vack. And a 6'6" sophomore, number 44, Darryl Puff. Assistant coach for Scribner is Steve Winscott. The head coach, Joel Wooten. Now here are the Grant Plainsmen. The non-starters are number 12, Steve Snyder. 14, Jeff Rezak. 20, Bill Palmer. 30, Grant Kent Schilling. 32, Scott Bullock. 42, Troy Pankinen. And 44, Tim Wilson. Now here are the starters for the Plainsmen. A 6-foot senior, number 10, Ryan Young. 5'9" senior, number 22, Alan Poppy. 6-foot senior, number 24, Scott Rezak. 6'3" senior, number 34, Doug Jackman. And 6'3" senior, number 40, Dan Jackman. The assistant coaches are John Stritt and Steve Hammett, and the head coach for Grant, Don Bartholomew. Our officials for the C2 finals game, Rudy Storr and Bill Ashburn.
And so the starters for the Grant Plainsmen, Ryan Young and Alan Poppy at the guard, Scott Rezak and Dan Jackman at forward, and Doug Jackman at center. Dan and Doug Jackman are the twin brothers, of course, University of Nebraska basketball player Bill Jackman. For the Scribner Trojans, their starters will be Tim Wobkin and Jim Mauck at the guards, Brian Elbert and Pat Beck at the forwards, and Darrell Pupp at center. Grant will be clad in the white uniforms with red and black trim. Scribner in the red uniform with black and white trim, and to bring you the play-by-play, here's Jeff Small. And you can see right off the height advantage that Scribner has. Darrell Pupp, a 6'6" sophomore, jumping up against 6-foot Scott Rezak to start things out, and Scribner does indeed control the tip. But it's quickly taken away by Rezak. So now the Grant Plainsmen with a basketball, bringing it up the floor. That's Scott Rezak. They'll try to work the ball to Ryan Young. Averages 31.5 points a game. There, Young has it taken away. Fight for the ball, and Scribner has it. Here come the Trojans. Tim Watson bringing it up. They try to get it inside. That will be the Trojan strategy. Nice pass underneath, but a great block by Rezak. Don Bartholomew is in his first year as coach at Grant after Doyle Denny left Grant to come coach here in Lincoln and coach Lincoln Christian. Joel Wooten is in his second year as the head coach at Scribner. Man-to-man defense for Scribner. There's Young, and it's blocked. But we have a foul away from the ball first. It will, I believe, be a non-shooting foul. Ryan Young is definitely one of the best guards in the state, someone to really watch. To give you an idea how good Ryan Young is, he has broken Bill Jackman's school scoring record. So you know he can fill it up. There's Young. No basket. And another foul. Wobkin was whistled for the first personal. Ryan Young, number 10, who you see about ready to inbound the ball, holds almost all of the Class C2 records. He set a new record for points in one game this year. He had 39 in the opening round. Nice steal by Scribner. Here comes Wobkin. He drives. It's good. Jim Wobkin. The first 2 points of the game, and Scribner leads it. Wobkin averages 13.7 points per game. Jim Mauck averages 14, and Pat Beck 11.1, along with the 16.8 average of Pupp. Scribner has 4 men that average in double figures, and Wobkin has scored 42 points in the tournament coming into this game. And there's Ryan Young. He misses that shot. And here come the Scribner Trojans. That's Mauck. Pulls up. He's double teamed. Needs help. And he finds Wobkin. Out top, that's Pat Beck underneath to Pupp. It's good. Darrell Pupp, a 6'6" sophomore. Inside Jackman, it's short, and the rebound is to Pupp. Scribner, a young team, 2 seniors, 2 juniors, and a sophomore in the starting lineup. Grant, all 5 starters are seniors. That's Mauck. It's good, and we have a 6-0 Scribner lead. I don't think many people expected this. Scribner fell way behind O'Neill St. Mary's in their opening round, then had to come back. And then yesterday built up a big 25-point lead on Macy, although Macy cut it down toward the end. This time, Scribner is jumping off to the early lead. Almost a turnover there. But the Plainsmen retain possession. They get it to Young. And he misses again. Jackman with a rebound. No good. And here come the Scribner Trojans. That's Wapkin underneath. Tries to find Albert. Wapkin will shoot. It's good. And we have an 8-0 lead. 8-0. Scribner. Young has two. Ryan Young, he can hit from the outside, but he also likes to drive very well. He's a good quick guard. Real nice backdoor move there. Inside, Pup. It's good for Darryl Pup. He has 4, and Scribner leads it 10-2. Darryl Pupp's last name is spelled P-O-P-P-E, just like Alan Poppy of Grant, but it's Poppy for Grant and Pup for Scribner. Fight for the ball after Young's shot was blocked. Poppy came up with it. They get it to Young. He'll shoot. No good. Ryan Young having a slow start today. The fewest points that Ryan Young has scored all year in any one game has been 14. Shot no good by Watson. And here comes Young. He's got it. Young had kind of an off day yesterday, for him anyway, with 18 points, 39 in the first round. As I said, the fewest he's ever scored this year is 14. Ball inside, and it's knocked out of bounds. Beck last touched it, so it will belong to Grant. In the state tournament, Young has 57 points. Only Doug Wemhoff of Elkhorn Mount Michael has more points in the state tournament. He has 58. We'll see Wemhoff tonight at 7 o'clock in the Class B matchup. Here comes Grant, trailing by 6. Jackman inside, no good. The rebound, the shot is good by Scott Rezak. Rezak scores, and he is fouled. Rezak is only 6 foot, but he can really get up. Grant's only loss this year has been to Bayard, and that was by 2 points at Bayard. And Bayard is undefeated and a Class C1 finalist. So that gives you an idea of some of the competition that Grant has played. Scribner has 6 losses, as we mentioned, but they are the smallest school in the East Husker Conference, the only one in that conference in Class C2. So Scribner's competition has been stout also this year. 2 substitutions for Scribner. Kyle Snore has come in, and Shane Doskell. Doskell, bringing the ball up, is only a 5'6" freshman. Interesting to see if Ryan Young guarding him will try to teach Doskell a thing or two. That's Snore taken away by Young. And he's got 2 more. So here come the Grant Plainsmen back. It is now 10-8. That last time down, Young completely left the freshman Doskell to make that steal. Completely left him alone. Young is very quick, and I'm sure he will give the Scribner guards trouble. Watson right side to Mouth. Mouth will shoot it. Way short. And we've got a foul. I'll tell you, Dick, those Jackmans, they aren't real tall, and they don't jump real well, only 6'3", but they are both very physical inside. Both outstanding athletes in other sports also besides basketball. Both 6'3". They are the youngest in the Jackman family now as seniors in high school. And we'll be talking with Bill Jackman at halftime of today's game. Inside to Jackman, it's blocked. That was Doug Jackman blocked. And here comes Scribner. Darryl Pup has the rebound. 10-8, Scribner in front. Grant has scored the last 6 points, though. Mouth, left side, that's Doskell. Grant back into a 2-1-2 zone now. Inside, Pup. No good. Rebound, nice job underneath by Jim Mount. Jim Mount scores. He has 4 points, and Scribner leads it by 4. Alan Poppy over to Dan Jackman. Inside, Rezak, and he 3 seconds on Rezak. Pat Beck coming back in for Scribner. And we'll take this time out where in the Class C2 matchup, Scribner leads Grant 12-8. Back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, 2:14 to go in the first period. Here's another look at Ryan Young with a steal and basket. He has 6 points so far in the game. He averages 31.5. He is the state's leading scorer. And I'm sure a lot of colleges are looking at Ryan Young. Scribner, though, leads it right now, 12-10. Scribner 6 of 8 from the field thus far. Grant 4 of 10 from the field. Inside, a drive. It's taken away. Dostal tried to drive. And now on the loose ball, Doug Jackman picks it up. And they said, welcome to the state tournament to the freshmen. It's a physical game inside. Young has it taken away. And here comes Dostal. He shoots it up, and there is a foul. All the way down, Dan Jackman a foul. That is the first foul whistled against Grant today. Dostal wasn't afraid to take it to the hoop that time. The young freshman will go to the hoop. Let's take another look. You see, he just didn't quite get it up there, but he will get 2 free throws. Shot is good by Shane Dostal. Last year, Grant lost to Henderson in the Class C2 championship, 71-58. And Grant and Henderson met in the opening round of the state tournament this year, although the Henderson team very much different than last year. Grant with much of the same personnel back from that team of last year. And this year, Grant beat Henderson in the opening round 89-55. Dostal trying to make it a 14-18, and he does. 2 free throws. Shane only averages 1 point a game, but he has 2 in this one. He had 11 points in Scribner's opening round win over O'Neill St. Mary. Young, it's rejected by Pup, and here comes Scribner. Pup filling the lane, left side, Watson, it's good! Look at the Scribner Trojans, 16-8. Shot outside, Poppy, no good. For the rebound, Rezak, it's good. Scott Rezak has 4. Only he and Ryan Young have scored for Grant. Dostal, no good. The rebound to Watkin, and he's got it. Tim Watkin has 8, and it is now an 18-10 game. A lot of scoring in this one. Jackman, it's good. That's Doug Jackman with 2. He averages 14 points a game. Long pass to Dostal. He can't catch up with it, and it will be a turnover. 39 seconds left in the first quarter here. 18-12. Scribner on top. Grant, 23-1 on the season. They are not very big, but they are very good. Ball stolen away by Dostal. Here comes the young freshman all the way. It's good! Shane Dostal has 4, and it's now 20-12. And he says welcome to the state tournament to Alan Poppy, a senior. Young, no good. And the rebound controlled by Pat Beck. 3 seconds, 2, top of the key, no good. But Scribner doing very well in the first quarter. After 1 quarter of play, it's Scribner 20, Grant 12. We'll be back after this timeout. In the first quarter for Grant, Ryan Young scored 6 points, Scott Rezac 4, and Doug Jackman 2. For Scribner, Tim Wobkin has 8. Jim Mouse, Darrell Pupp, and Shane Dostal 4 each to account for their 20. And the biggest lead of the game, 8 points here at the end of the first period for Scribner. Scribner shooting 69% there in the first quarter. Grant 42%. There's Young. He misses Jackman. It's good. Jackman scores. That was Doug Jackman. He now has 4. And it's a 20-12 game. 20-14. Almost double dribble. There's Pop. No good. And with the rebound is Rezac. All the way down to Young. They like to break him. Dostal knocked it out. And it must have gone off of Young's hands because it belongs to Scribner. Well, we've talked about the difference in experience. Grand starters are all seniors. Scribner with a sophomore and 2 juniors in the starting lineup, and then Dostal in there as a freshman off the bench. Shot is good by Pat Beck for Scribner, and it's 22-14. Young doesn't have a lot of arch on that shot. Jackman, Dan Jackman, it's good. Doug Jackman, rather. Doug Jackman scores. He has 6, and it's 22-16. Well, we had 4 sets of twins in the girls' state championship games last week, and we start off with the Jackman twins here today. And Beck fills it up again. He has 4 quickly here in the second quarter. Scribner really going after Grant today. Doug Jackman. Blocked by Pupp. Darrell Pupp, a 6'6" sophomore, averages 17 points a game, and he's having a good one today. Wobkin. It's good. Tim Wobkin has 10, and it's 26-16, the biggest lead of the contest, 10 points. Jackman gets it to crawl in. Doug Jackman has 8. He leads the Grant scores. He has all 6 of the Plainsmen's points here in the second quarter. Doug Jackman has scored 44 points so far in the tournament and averages about 14 a game. Wobkin takes it to the hoop, and he is fouled by Dan Jackman. That will be Dan's second foul. Take another look. 4 team fouls so far on Scribner and just 1 team foul on Grant. Make that 2. 2 team fouls, and Jackman has both of them. There's a look at Doug Jackman, and at the free throw line is Tim Wobkin. He hits. Wobkin now has 11, a 6'1" junior. Averages 14 points a game, has 18 and 24, though, in the state tournament. So he's bringing his best game here in Lincoln. With 5:58 left in the second quarter, it's 28-18. Scribner on top. We'll be back with more after this timeout. Back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center. And Darrell Pupp having a very good game for Scribner. Here's another look at Pupp with a block. Nicely done. He blocks Ryan Young's shot. Grant trails it by 10. The freshman Shane Dostal back in the lineup for Scribner. Backdoor, Young. It's good. Scribner trying to overplay a little bit on Young, denying him the ball, and if you do that, Young will hit some backdoor plays. Every shot this is Wobkin. It's good. Tim Wobkin. He now has 14 points. A steal by Dostal. Tries to get the pass inside, knocked out of bounds by Rezac, and it will be Scribner's ball. Let's take another look at this steal. Well, this freshman, Shane Dostal, has been impressive here in the early going so far, although he almost threw that one away, but he sure timed that steal perfectly. Scribner with a ball and a 10-point lead. Wobkin, he's been the big man, but this one's way long. Alan Poppy brings it down for the Plainsmen, and he double dribbles the ball. A turnover. That's 4 turnovers for Grant. So far here in the second period, been a lot of turnovers in the game. Well, I'll tell you, Scribner playing a near-perfect game. They're shooting 70%, have no turnovers in the contest. That's no turnovers in the second quarter. Here come the Grant Plainsmen. Young still hasn't hit from the outside, and Jackman is fouled. Oh, no, Jackman is whistled for the foul. Doug Jackman, they say he was pushing off. The Grant fans don't like it. Let's take another look. Well, let's see if we can pick it up right here. He's number 34 in the white. And the foul was called on Jackman, 34. Looks like maybe what the official said is that he pushed off before when the shot was going up, maybe trying to get inside position. 30-20 our score. Scribner on top. Inside of 5 minutes left in the second quarter. That's Watkins. Out to Dostal. Malk has it back to Watkins. It's good! Tim Watkins. He now has 16 points in the contest. Only averages 14 a game. Rezak down to Jackman, and he is fouled. A blocking foul on Scott Rezak. Take another look. Dan Jackman trying to create things, and a good call. 32-20, the biggest lead of the contest, 12 by Scribner. Dan Jackman yet to score in this game. He'll shoot 1-1. Dan Jackman is a 46% free throw shooter. Grant, not a great free throw shooting team, averaging 49% from the line as a, or check that. Dan averages 52% from the line. Grant averages 63% as a team in free throw shooting. And he hits both of these to make it back to a 10-point game, 32-22. That's Watkin with the ball, and he has been leading Scribner so far in this game. Out top, and we've got a foul. Foul on Alan Poppy. That will be his first personal. The fourth team foul on Grant, so after this, both teams will be in the bonus. Here's another look at it, Jeff, from another angle from the ground level. Grant, very physical team. Scribner, too, for that matter. And there you can see the foul right there. Called on Ellen Poppy. That's his first personal. Both teams now in the 1-1 bonus situation for the rest of the half. Scribner shot on the way. No good by Mount, and Jackman has the rebound. When it comes to rebounds, you can say Jackman with it, and you've got a pretty good chance that it will be right for Grant. Nice driving move by Scott Rezak. He has 6, and the Plainsmen are back to within 8. Here comes Scribner quickly the other way. Both teams like to run and really try to create things. Dostal all alone underneath. Now Dostal has it out top. Young is helping out a lot. Dostal drives. Nice drive. Nice pass. They're leaving Dostal alone. He's only a freshman, but he's really creating things out there. And this time he's a little over-aggressive, and Dostal has a foul. And Kyle Schnur is going to come back into the game for Scribner. Here's another look at Dostal. He really took a shot right there running into Scott Rezak just before he passed the ball off, but he got the pass off. And Tim Watkins has 18 points in this game. Now Dostal goes out, and Schnur, the 6-foot senior, comes in for him. Alan Poppy at the free throw line averages 63% in free throw shooting. At least he did coming into the tournament this year. And he hits. And that's his first point of the game. He averages 10, and he scored 10 in each of the first 2 tournament games. And he makes the second. So with 3:34 left in the first half, it's 34-26. Scribner on top. Back with more after this. Back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, where Scribner leads Grant 34-26. Not what a lot of people expected. Grant probably a big favorite coming in, but boy, Scribner has really taken it to Grant, Dick. Watson with 18 points and 3 other men with 4 points each. And Scribner is not playing at all like a team that's never been to the state final. That's Watkin with the ball. Out top to Pat Beck. Early on, Scribner was trying to work the ball inside to Pup. He had 4 quick points, but since then, Watkin has really taken up the slack. Knorr passes off to Pup. Pup will drive, shoot. It's long. Scott Rizak has the rebound. Rizak to Poppy, Jackman to twin brother Doug. His shot is no good. And it still belongs, though, to Grant. And the freshman, Shane Dostal, comes back into the lineup for Scribner. And Kyle Schnur comes out of there. The youngest and the smallest, but doing a great job. There's Young. He'll shoot that one. And hit it. Ryan Young, he doesn't put a lot of arc on that shot. And he's had trouble from the outside today, but he gets that one to connect. And if he gets hot, watch out. 34-28. It's back to 6 points. The Grant fans are on their feet. Shot is up, no good. With the rebound, though, for Scribner. Mouth also misses. And a fight for the loose ball. Watkin has it, and a foul is on Jackman. Doug Jackman, his second personal. Well, a lot of hustle shown by Scribner there to keep that ball alive and keep getting the offensive rebound. Here's another look at a nice save by Speck there. Just about went out of bounds, but he saved it into the hands of Watkin, and he'll be at the line for 1 and 1. Both teams in the bonus situation now for the rest of the half. Watkin, he'll shoot a 1 and 1. Misses. Here comes Grant, a chance to cut it to 4. Inside to Young. His shot is blocked, but he was fouled by Mount in the process. Take another look. Young very aggressive on the floor. Watkin goes over to help out. And you can see the hand. Nice call, nice camera work. And Young will shoot 2. Ryan Young is an 80% free throw shooter. He's the leader on the Grant team in most all departments. And he can really hit the bottom of the net. Young now has 13 points in the contest. And we're down to a 4-point game. 34-30. The foul on the other end as Scott Rizak went for the steal. That will be Rizak's second foul. Obvious one here, Dick. Watson will go to the free throw line to shoot 1 and 1. It's good. Watson will get the bonus. Second one, no good. And with the rebound is Rizak. Here comes Grant, trailing by 5. Inside of 2 minutes left in the second quarter. That's Young. No good. Jackman goes up strong. It's blocked, but he is fouled. Ball falls through, but the foul called before that last basket, so of course will not count. There's a look at the foul, and Doug Jackman will be at the free throw line for 2 shots. Grant slowly coming back in this game. Scribner has led by as many as 12. With 4:40 to go in the half, Scribner led 32-20, and since Grant has outscored them 10-3. Jackman's first free throw, no good. Into the game for the first time for Grant is Tim Wilson, a 6'2 junior, and there also you see number 40 for Scribner, Pat Beck, back into the game for the Trojans, and the big man, Darryl Pup, comes out for them. Wilson waiting to come in for Grant. Perhaps he's coming in for the shooter, Jackman. Jackman's second one falls, so it's back to a 4-point game, 35-31, 1:52 left in this first half. Checking in, Tim Wilson, and Doug Jackman will take a break. First substitution of the game for Grant. Out top, Dostal will set it up. Goes back to Mount. Out top, Albert. No good. Scribner's starting to cool off a bit now. And here comes Grant with a chance to cut it to 2. Inside, Wilson. No good. And Watkin has the rebound. Scribner spreading things out. They may try to hold it for one shot. I don't know. Here comes Watkin. It's good for Tim Watkin. Watkin really filling the net, and the ball thrown away. 37-31. 21 points for Tim Watkin in this first half. Scribner spreading it out again. Brian Young really out there looking for the steal. 25 seconds left in the first half. Scribner leads it by 6. Dostal passes it back out. Back over to Watkin. 10 seconds left. They get it inside the, or rather, that was Beck, and he is fouled. With 11 seconds left, Beck will go to the free throw line to shoot 1 and 1. There's Wilson, the man guilty of the foul, his first personal. And there's Pat Beck at the line, 6'4" senior, averaging 11.1 points per game, has 24 points, actually 28 now in the tournament. 4 points in the game today. Shot is no good with a rebound. Is Poppy. He'll bring it down. We're down to 6 seconds. Try to get it to Young, and they do. He'll shoot it. Long, way long. And the shot is no good. That basket does not count. So at the half, Scribner has a 37-31 lead, as Tim Watkin leading the way with 21 points. Scribner Trojans really playing a whale of a game here in the first half. Now, Dick Janda is standing by with Grant coach John Bartholomew. Dick, let's go to you.
Okay, Coach, just some of the adjustments you're going to talk about here at halftime with your Grant team.
Well, defensively, we're not sucking it up and playing the good defense, and we're going to have to get some help. There was a few times that we did, but we're just not doing it consistently enough.
Did Scribner surprise you a little bit? They came out at a lead of as many as 12 in that first half.
No, I tell you what, this is one person didn't underestimate Scribner all along. I felt that they were the team. If we were going to have a shot at winning it, they were going to be the team that we're going to have to beat.
Okay, Coach, good luck the second half.
Thank you.
Jeff, back to you.
And we'll be back with our halftime statistics, plus an interview with Bill Jackman right after this. We're back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, where Scribner leads Grant at the half, 37-31 in the finals of Class C2 this afternoon. Scribner playing a very good game. Running down our leading scorers, Tim Watkin for Scribner has 21 points. Jim Mount has 4. Darrell Pupp has 4. Pat Beck has 4. And James Dostal has 4. For the Grant Plainsmen, Brian Young has 12. Doug Jackman has 8. Scott Rizak has 6. Alan Poppy with 2. And Dan Jackman also has 2. Scribner leads it 37-31. A reminder, at noon, we will have the Bayard-Arlington Class C1 game. Now, that game will not be televised on channels 10 and 11. At 1 o'clock on channels 10 and 11, we will be bringing you the Big 8 finals between Oklahoma and Iowa State. The Nebraska ETV network, though, will carry that noon game, Bayard and Arlington. ETV will also have the Clearwater Hildreth game at 2 o'clock. We will join that game in progress here on channels 10 and 11 after the Big 8 tournament. Now, Dick Janda is standing by with a special halftime guest. Let's go to Dick.
Okay, thanks very much, Jeff. With me is Bill Jackman, who, of course, led Grant to a couple of state titles and is still the state tournament career scoring leader of all time. And, Bill, it must bring back a lot of memories for you to come back to these state tournament games from the times when you played here on this same floor.
Oh, there was a lot of good memories, when I played. I played a couple years ago, and my junior year, we ended up winning the state title, and it was probably even more enjoyable my senior year because nobody expected us to win the state title. So it was a really good feeling both years.
What's it like watching your two twin brothers out there? That must be fun, too.
It's a good feeling. When I was a junior, I had an older brother that played with me, and people called us the Twin Towers because I was 6'8", and my brother Tom was like 2'5". Now the Jay and Doug, they're 6'3", and they're calling them the Twin Towers because they're more true Twin Towers.
What's it like when the Jackmans get together for a driveway basketball game? That must be pretty intense.
Well, it's kind of tough. There's 5 boys. We can never go, 3-on-2. There have been times where we've gone 2-on-2, and our driveway seems smaller and smaller the bigger we get.
Let me ask you a little bit about Nebraska season this year. Of course, you played this year as a sophomore after sitting out a redshirt year. Things didn't really go the way the Huskers probably would have liked this year.
No, we had a really talented team this year. Curtis Moore and Brian Carr, and of course Dave Hopkins. We got a really talented team, and just some bad breaks at different times. We're looking forward to next year, of course, and hopefully we can NIC good tomorrow night.
Personally, how do you look at the season that you had this year?
Oh, there were times it was really frustrating. That's just I matured a lot from it. You mature a lot from it. Just sitting out. There were times I really enjoyed myself, and I'll definitely remember the good times more than the bad times.
Of course, you transferred from Duke after playing your freshman year there, and Duke is nationally rated this year. They've been getting a lot of national attention. Do you still keep tabs on them? What do you think of the Duke team? Do you keep watching them?
It's really interesting because the Duke team is, mainly because they have 4 juniors, 3 juniors and a sophomore started. And the 3 juniors were in my recruiting class when I went out there. So those are the guys who are really close to. I keep tabs on them as much as I can. We don't get a whole lot of coverage on East Coast basketball, except within the national wire services. But they're doing really well. I wish them the best.
You ever wonder if you'd stayed at Duke, if you'd still be in there playing with them?
Oh, I think about it every once in a while. Like if I watch them on national TV or something, it'd be fun to be playing on national TV. But looking at everything considered, the whole school situation, I really enjoy here in Nebraska. It's unbeatable.
From a player's standpoint, what is the feeling about going into a possible NIT berth for Nebraska? It's possible that the Huskers could still be playing ball next week.
Right. We'll find out tomorrow night if we play. I think we'll probably play Wednesday night if we get the bid. I think NIT, the people will have to look at how good of crowds we have. I think NIT, sometimes they look for money, and if we can put 14,000 in here, that's quite a bit of money for them.
Getting back to this game, Grant trailing by 6 here at halftime. They've kind of come back. They were down by as many as 12. Is the style of play any different, much different with the new coach? Doyle Denny, of course, was your coach when you were here.
Right. Oh, it doesn't change a whole lot over the years. When we went when I was a junior, I had Coach Tom Lawson, who is now at Bellevue. Then my senior year, we had Doyle Denny, and now they have a new coach. And pretty much the assistant coaches have been around, and so they kind of instill the same offenses. But for the most part, it's about the same.
What do you think Grant will have to do here in the second half to come back?
Well, this is the third time I've seen her play this year. The first time I saw them against Henderson, they were only up 2 at half, and they ended up winning by 34. So it seems like the second half is a good half. And same thing with the game yesterday.
Okay, well, Bill, thank you very much for being with us, and good luck in the future to you. All right, Bill Jackman, the career state tournament scoring leader from Grant. And now, Jeff, back to you. At halftime, it's Scribner 37, Grant 31. We'll be back to take a look at the halftime statistics right after this. Back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, where Grant trails Scribner by 6 at halftime. One of the problems for Grant maybe in this first half, Ryan Young, who averages 32 points a game, the leading scorer in the state, only has 12 in the first half. Ryan has had his problems
from the scoring in that first half. Let's take a look at the halftime statistics if we can real quick. Or rather, let's first, there you see the halftime statistics. 43% from the field for Grant, 61.5% for Scribner, 77% of the free throws for Grant. And let's go now quickly over to Dick Janda and talk with the Scribner coach, Joel Wood.
Okay, Jeff, Coach, you jumped out to a big 12-point lead. You have a 6-point advantage here at halftime. Some of the things that you've been discussing to keep that lead.
Okay, we talked about what we want to do the second half is get the ball inside a little more. We didn't get it in there enough. Try to get their big people in a little foul trouble. Plus, we made a couple of defensive adjustments. We're denying Young too much. We want to let him go ahead and have the ball outside, make him shoot from the outside. We know he's a good shooter, but we'd rather have him do that than beating us on the drive.
Okay, Coach, good luck the second half.
Thank you.
Okay, and we'll be back with that second half after this timeout.
Back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, we're set for action in the second half. Grant leads Scribner, Grant trails Scribner 37-31. Starting off the same starting lineup for Grant: Ryan Young, Alan Poppy at the guard, Doug Jackman at center, Dan Jackman and Scott Rezac at the forward spot. For Scribner, Tim Watson and Jim Mouth will be the guards. Darrell Pup is the center. At the forwards, we'll have Pat Beck, and Shane Dostal is also in. Pup, a big height advantage, but Grant controls the second half tip.
So Dostal, the freshman, starts the second half for Scribner. He did not start the game.
Drive, no good. Jackman with a rebound, and he scores. Dan Jackman now has 4 points in the game. Scott Rezac on the drive missed, but Jackman has the rebound, and we're down to a 4-point game. It's good by Jim Mouth. Mouth hit. Both teams shot well the first half and got up and down the floor. It looks like things will not change for the second half. Young, he'll shoot it outside and miss. Ryan Young having a hard time today hitting from the outside in this final game of Class C2. Here comes Scribner. Mouth. Baseline to Dostal. Out top. That's Beck. Left side. Mouth. No good. Jackman has the rebound. Doug Jackman. Here come the Plainsmen. Young. Back out to Poppy. Right side over to Rezac. Rezac drives, shoots, way short. Jackman had position, but it will belong to Grant. Went off Jackman's hands.
There you see some of the Scribner cheerleaders along the way, and we'll see if what Bill Jackson said is true. He said when he's watched Grant this year, they've been a second-half team.
Turnover that time, Shane Dostal, the 5'6 freshman. That's really been about one of the first, maybe nervous or careless mistakes that he has made in this game. Took his concentration away. He's had a couple of nice steals. Rezac brings it up. They like to try to isolate, get the ball to Young. Jackman, it's knocked away, goes out of bounds. Dan Jackman couldn't control it. 39-33.
Pat Beck got one right in the face as the official signaled which way the ball was going to go, and he got Beck, but he's okay.
Dostal, it's taken away. Young has it on the other end, and no one will catch him. Young has 2 more. He now has 14. But only 2 points that Young has had have been from the outside. The rest have all been layups.
But Ryan Young is really quick. He really has speed.
That's Watkins, taken away by Young. And he is fouled. It's probably a good foul by Pat Beck. Take another look. Young, very aggressive out on the floor.
And again, you can see the kind of speed that he's been showing throughout the game. And Beck really probably, as you said, made a smart foul right there, because probably would have been a layup had he not fouled him.
Young inbounds it all the way out top to Rezac. They isolate Young, but he's still having problems from the outside. Young tries to get the steal, but Watkin bringing it up. Watkin had 21 points in the first half. Looks like Grant giving him a little bit more attention now. Dostal all alone on the other end, though. Look at him. No one's guarding him underneath there. And taken away. Alan Poppy down to Doug Jackman. No good, though. And Doskell has the rebound. Here comes Shane Doskell. He'll slow it up. Puts it back out. Inside, Jackman knocks it away. They get it back to Pup. No good. And Doug Jackman has the rebound. Here comes Grant with a chance to cut it to 2. The Plainsmen fans on their feet. Baseline, Young will shoot, and now he hits. Ryan Young makes it a 39-37 game. Scribner on top. Over the last 8 or so odd minutes, including the second quarter, ball knocked around underneath. Jackman has it. Jackman trying to get it down the floor. Over the last 8 minutes or so, Grant has outscored Scribner 17-7. The momentum has really swung. Young, way out, 18. No good. Going down the rebound, that was Beck. To Pup. Pup will drive, shoot, not a great shot. Jackman has the rebound, and he is fouled by Mouth. Take another look. Not a great shot by Pup, and an obvious foul. Something that happens sometimes. You really don't want to get your big man the ball on the break a lot of times because he's not used to handling it in that situation. Doskell checks out. Coming back in, Brian Albert. And we'll take a timeout here with 4:20 left in the third quarter. It's Scribner 39, Grant 37. Grant really coming on here in the third quarter. Scribner has committed 5 turnovers already here in the first 3 minutes and 40 seconds of the third quarter, and Scribner's 1 for 4 from the field, while Grant is 3 for 9 so far here in the third period. And the Grant Plainsmen have the ball, a chance to tie it up. The game has not been tied since the opening tip. Young, 15-footer, way off. Jackman, nice fake, and no basket. The foul was before the shot. It was whistled against Byron Albert. Young really having a hard time finding the hoop today. It's a common foul, no shot. Grant will inbound. That's the second team foul for Scribner. Grant has yet to commit a foul here in the second half. Second foul on Albert. Inbound it to Poppy. Now stop to Doug Jackman. Young, he'll shoot it. Still having trouble. Pup has Beck has the rebound. Here comes Watkins. He has yet to score in the second half. Passes underneath. Shot is no good by Albert. And here comes Grant all the way down the floor. Young, no good. Jackman the tip, no good. Shot again, no good. Fight for the rebound. Young, a lot of intensity, and now we have a foul. Alan Poppy commits the foul. Take another look. Tempers flare a little bit. Where the action was fast and furious underneath. Look at the fight for this ball, and finally Poppy reaches in. Darryl Pup didn't like it, but it's still a foul on Poppy. His second. First team foul on Grant. Watch the action underneath the basket. You can see, look at the physical play under there. Back. No good, and we've got a foul. Foul will be whistled on Mouth. That will be his second. The fourth team foul already. However, I think you'd have to say that these officials are letting these two teams play. They're not calling every bit of contact because there's been a lot of contact in this game. Young, still no good. Knocked out of bounds will belong to Grant. Tell you, Dick, a tough game tonight to call and to officiate will be that Class A game. Omaha Northwest, Lincoln East, both teams really like to run. Our featured game tonight at 9 o'clock should be a great one. Jackman to Jackman, no good. Doug Jackman fights for the rebound, and he has it. Set it out up top. Doug Jackman did a nice job not traveling. Fight for the rebound, and this time Beck controls it. Although a lot of the Scribner fans thought that he did travel. But they got the turnover anyway, got the ball back anyway. Beck. Wapkin, he hasn't scored yet in the second half. He'll shoot it. And still no good. Beck, it's good. Beck has 6, and it's back to a 4-point game, 41-37. Young out top. That is good by Coffey. Alan Coffey hits, and we're back to a 2-point game. Just over 2 minutes left in this third quarter of action between Scribner and Grant in the Class C2 Championship. Well, this third quarter has gone by fast, as there's not been many free throws. There's a nice steal. Stolen away. Here comes Young. They love to hit him on that fast break. Anytime there's any type of turnover, Young just sprints down the floor. And it's tied up, 41-41. Scribner says, let's stop the music. As we have a timeout, 41-41. It's kind of interesting. Midway through the second quarter, Scribner led 32-20, a 12-point lead. Since that time, Grant has outscored Scribner 21-9 to tie the game. Here's another look at that last basket by Ryan Young off the steal, and it was a real nice grab by Doug Jackman, and Young just loves to cherry pick down the court, and he now has 18 points in the game. Well, our next game of the day will be the C1 final between Bayard and Arlington, a battle of unbeaten. That game is slated to start at noon and will be carried live only on the Nebraska ETV network. We will have highlights of that game also between the 7 and 9 o'clock games tonight here on channels 10 and 11. At 2 o'clock, it'll be the Class D2 game between Clearwater and Hildreth. At 5, the D1 championship between undefeated McCool Junction and Elmwood. At 7, the Class B final, Elkhorn, Mount Michael, and Valentine. And the Class A championship at 9, Omaha Northwest and Lincoln East. So far in the game in this third quarter, Dick, Grant is only 5 of 19. But the Plainsmen have fought their way back into it. They are doing a good job rebounding. They have also forced Scribner into 6 third quarter turnovers here. Beck, he hits. Pat Beck, a 6'4 senior who averages 11 points a game, now has 8. And Scribner takes the lead. Grant has never led in this contest. Inside to Young. Loses it. Having trouble pressured out top. Gives it away. Rezak. Scott Rezak scores. He now has 8. And it's tied up, 43 apiece. Shane Dostal was checked back into the Scribner lineup. That's Dostal with a basketball. Having trouble underneath, though. Nice pass over to Watson. Great pass that time by Pup over to Watson. He has 23. Pup has not scored since the first quarter, the tallest man on the court. Young, little more arch that time, and it went down. Ryan Young now has 20. And it's a 45-45 game. 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Scribner may go for one. Scribner scored 37 points in the first half, but the Trojans have only scored 8 here in the third quarter. A turnover with 8 seconds left, plenty of time. Young wants the ball, has it, but misses. Dostal with the rebound. Nice job. And that's the end of the third quarter, where the score is tied 45-45 here in the Class C2 championship game. We'll be back with the final quarter right after this. And there's one of the young Grant fans along the way. Grant outscoring Scribner 14-8 in the third quarter to erase a 6-point halftime deficit and tie it up at the end of 3 periods. Scribner is 4 for 10 from the field, the second in the third quarter, and Grant 7 for 22. So Grant was less of a percentage, but shooting more than twice as many shots in the third quarter. 7 out of 22 for Grant, 4 out of 10 for Scribner. So Grant playing the defense, Scribner taking fewer shots. Pup and Rezac to jump it up here to start the final period. Scribner looks like they should control it. Dostal lets it go, and it belongs to Grant. At the time, Dostal probably should have gone down there and gotten that ball. If there's any question, you should always go get it. He thought it was touched last by a Grant player, and he could have corralled that ball. Now he has it go through his hands, and that's a turnover. Well, Scribner gets it anyway. Here comes Scribner. The Trojans have led it the entire way, but we're tied up right now. Boy, in that third quarter, you had a sense that Grant was really kind of laying for the kill, but Scribner hasn't let it happen. It's still close. Well, Coach Bartholomew of Grant, he told you at halftime the Plainsmen really had to shore up their defense, and that's exactly what they did. It was really their defense that really improved. Well, Wobkin has only scored 2 the second half. He had 21 the first. This is Wobkin, and he hit. Tim Wobkin now has 25 in the contest. From all indications, this one should go down to the wire. Young. He's had trouble hitting from the outside. Inside, Rezac passes to Jackman. It's good. Nice pass by Rezac to Dan Jackman. And we're tied at 47. Mount gets it inside to Pup for 2. Darryl Pup scores his first 2 points since early in the first quarter. He now has 6. And it's seesawing back and forth. The game is tied, then Scribner goes up by 2. Back to tied. Here comes Young. Fake inside. Doug Jacklin. Up top. Poppy throws over to Dan Jackman. Here's Poppy. Rezac. Young, way off. Ryan Young, disgusted with himself, you can tell. He has not had a good game despite having 20 points in this contest. The ball thrown away by Watkin that time. Mouse went one way, the ball the other. And we've got a timeout. It's 49-47. Scribner leads with 6:08 left in the contest. It's 49-47. Scribner leads Grant with 6:08 left in the final period. Grant 23-1 on the season, ranked number 1 in Class C2. Scribner 16-6, but the Trojans are looking for an upset. Ryan Young underneath Rezac. It's blocked. Beck blocked it, but in the process got a foul, and he was shaking his head yes. Take another look. Underneath, you can see he got him on the arm. Scott Rezac, only 6 foot, but a very good jumper. And this, Dick, these will be our first free throws of the second half. And that is the 5th team foul on Scribner. So Grant in the 1-1 now for the rest of the way. There's only been 1 team foul committed by Grant here in the second half. And so Scribner has a ways to go before they get into the bonus. Rezac makes the first and the second. And it's tied up, 49 apiece. Wobkin pushes it up the floor. Mouth gives it back to Wobkin. Mouth inside to Pup. Ball knocked around, and we have a jump. A jump ball. Looks like Jackman, a nice block, and gets the jump. Doug Jackman had a contact lens pop out, but he put it right back in. Here's another look at it. And back to live action. Jackman and Pup will jump it up. Pup controls the tip. Beck. And Scribner fans wanted a foul. But Grant comes down. A chance for the Plainsmen to take their first lead in the contest. The Grant fans will go crazy if the Plainsmen hit here. Young, fakes again, goes up. It's good!
Ryan Young has 22, and Grant leads it 51-49. The pressure now put on Scribner. Watkins. Out top to Dostal. Young really looking for the steal. They get it to Puck. Underneath, all alone, and a foul. Rizak came in for the steal, but in the process, he fouled Byron Albert. There you see it again. He fouled Jim Mouth, rather, not Albert. But only the second team foul on Grant. That's the third foul on Rizak. Underneath, the basket was good. Darryl Pupp. He now has 8 points. Young the other way scores. Ryan Young gets up, and it's 53-51. Here comes Watkins. Young has the steal. Ryan Young, he'll take it. Half nicely off to Jackman, but he misses. Here comes Scribner. Up to Watkins. He'll drive. Pass inside. No one was there. No Scribner player was there. 4 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Grant leads it by 2. Nice pass underneath, and Young scores. And Scribner takes the timeout. It's 55-51. Grant on top. The Plainsmen fan loves it. We'll be back with more after this. Back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, Grant leads Scribner 55-51. Here was a nice pass, Dick. Rizak inside to Young for an easy 2. And Ryan Young now has 26 points. Grant has its biggest lead of the game, 4 points. Watkins, he had 21 in the first half, but now only has 25 in the contest. Grant has done a good job shutting him down. They get it inside. Pop. No good. Fight for the rebound. Young comes up with it. The Grant Plainsmen starting to take control of this contest. A 4-point lead. Young fakes. Boy, Young, he just wants the basketball out there. Rizak. Shot on the way, and we'll have a foul. Foul against Pat Vex. That will be his third. No one in foul trouble, really, in this basketball game. Scott Rizak will go to the free throw line. He's 2 for 3 from the charity stripe in the contest. Makes it. Scribner led by as many as 12 points back in the second period and led by 6 at halftime. Now Grant leads by 6. Biggest lead of the game for the Plainsmen. In fact, until a couple of minutes ago, Grant had never led in this game. Way outside, the shot is good by Jim Mouth. He has 8. Plainsmen working things around. 2.5 minutes left in the contest. Dostal goes for the steal. Knocked around the court. Jackman has it. It's good by Dan Jackman. Here comes Dostal. Pressure by Young. Get it out top to Sveck. Inside. Puck scores. Darryl Pupp now has 10-6 in the second half. And that's what the Trojans need to do, is get the ball inside. Rizak knocked away from behind. Mouth knocks it away. The Plainsman fans wanted a foul. Inside Watkins, and a blocking foul. So Watkins will probably go to the free throw line.
Take another look at the steal on the other end. There you see Mouth with it. Watkin will go to the free throw line. He's 3 of 5 from the line today. These will be the first free throws of the second half for Scribner. Watkin will shoot 2. He has 25 in the contest. Make it 26. Watkin, a 6'1 junior. He's had 18 and 24 in the first 2 games in the state tournament, so Tim Watkin having a very good state tourney. Makes them both, and now it's a 2-point game, 59-57, inside of 2 minutes left. The fans on their feet on both sides. It's knee knocker time, 59-57. Grant leads it. Young. It's good. Ryan Young scores. And Grant goes up by 4, 61-57. 1:30 left in the contest. Here comes Watkin. Tries to drive, gets it inside the Pup, all alone. No good. Pup for the rebound. He's fouled. Darryl Pup, he's a little disgusted with himself. A nice job of getting the ball inside by Scribner. Looks like, Grant, they're so worried about Watkin out top that they were letting Pup go underneath. Pup has responded with 6 points in the final period. He has 10. Pup will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Just a sophomore, the leading scorer on the Scribner team at 6'6". Shoots 65% on the year from the line. And he makes the first one. I tell you, we're going to hear more from this Scribner team in the future with Watkin, Pup, Gospel, Albert, all underclassmen. Minute 21 is all that's left, and Scribner trying to get back in it. Second one, no good. And with the rebound, hustling over there was Alan Poppy. Looked for a second like Schreck might get it. 1:15, almost stolen there by Watkin. See if Grant maybe tries to isolate Young, try to get him for a shot underneath. There's Young with the basketball. He'll drive, and he's fouled. I tell you, that's not the guy you want to foul, though, if you're Scribner. An 80% free throw shooter. And Scribner wants timeout with 59 seconds to go in the game. We'll take another look at the last foul right here. As you saw, Ryan Young, there he is, number 10 with the ball driving in, and the reach in is coming up, I think. Kind of got fouled twice on that play. Looked like it could have been a block early. I'm sure that's one thing that Coach Joel Wooten probably wants to talk with his players about. There you see Joel, and that's probably just to tell the players who to foul, and Ryan Young is definitely not the person to send to the free throw line for Grant. Young, as we said, shoots 80% from the free throw line on the season. He is the leading free throw shooter for the Grant Plainsmen. Dan Jackman only a 52% free throw shooter. Scott Rezak shoots 59%. Doug Jackman 65%. Alan Poppy shoots 63%. So I suppose Dan Jackman would be the person you would really like to foul. It's 61-58. 59 seconds left in the contest. Grant leading by 3. Scribner led by as many as 12. Grant came back in the fourth quarter to lead by as many as 6. But now Scribner fighting their way back into it. Ryan Young will be at the free throw line to shoot 1 and 1. Scribner led 37-31 at the half. It was tied at 45 at the end of 3 periods. Young has 28 points, but he struggles from the outside. Makes this free throw. It's a 4-point game. Well, it's amazing to talk about a guy struggling who is about to score his 30th point. The average is 31 and a half. Good. Here comes Scribner. 63-58, the Trojans trail. Dostal inside to Watkin. He hits. Tim Watkin has 2 more, and we're back to a 3-point game. Here's Young. Triple teamed. And the Plainsmen get it across the timeline. 40 seconds left. They don't want to foul Young. Here'd be a good person to foul right there.
Yep, they get it back out to Young, though. And that's going to be an intentional foul. Not a good foul that time, really, by Dostal. Grant doing a good job keeping the ball away. Alan Poppy will go to the free throw line to shoot two. Scribner will take timeout. We'll keep it here where Grant leads Scribner 63-60 with 32 seconds left. The Trojans need a little bit of help at the free throw line if they want to get back into it. Well, once again, following this game will be the C1 championship between undefeated Bayard at 25-0 and undefeated Arlington at 24-0. This game will not be carried on channels 10 and 11, but will be carried live on the Nebraska ETV network. And we will have highlights of that game on 10-11 between the 7 and 9 o'clock games tonight. At 2 o'clock, the Class D2 final between Clearwater and Hildreth will be carried on the Nebraska ETV network and will be joined in progress on channels 10 and 11. On 10 and 11, we will be carrying the Big 8 championship game between Oklahoma and Iowa State. Iowa State upsetting Kansas last night in the Big 8 semifinal. At 5 o'clock tonight, McCool Junction and Elmwood meet for the Class D1 championship. Then at 7, it's Elkhorn Mount Michael and Valentine for the Class B title. And at 9, Omaha Northwest and Lincoln East for the Class A championship game. There's the time left in this one, the C2 championship between Grant and Scribner. 32 seconds. Alan Poppy at the free throw line. He'll shoot two. On the season, Poppy a 63% foul shooter. He's 2 for 2 from the line today. Misses way off on the first. Way off on the first. Boy, that one just got away from him. Second one, no good. And Pup has the rebound. So Scribner still very much alive. 25 seconds left. That's Watkins. He'll drive, shoot. No good. Jackman with the rebound. He's fouled right away. Beck fouls, and that's his fourth. Let's see if they will give him 2 or a 1-and-1. I would guess a 1-and-1 on that. Got poked in the eye, and that could bother him a little bit on these free throws coming up. He's going to get 1-and-1. He'll get the bonus. It was not called intentional. 1-and-1 for Doug Jackman. Well, I think that was a good call. Rudy Storr on that one. He was right there, and really Speck, he was going for the basketball, and as long as you're going for the ball like that and it's not a blatantly intentional foul, they'll give you a 1-and-1 every time. Doug Jackman going to the free throw line. He's 1 for 2 from in the game. 20 seconds left. 2 free throws here by Jackman could really probably seal it. He hit. Jackman now with 9. One more, and it would be near impossible for Scribner to come back. Second one also good. Jackman now has 11. Check that. He's got 11. And it's a 5-point lead. Scribner, no good. Pup with the tip. No good. And Young has the rebound. Young is fouled. So that will probably do it. With 11 seconds left, Grant leads at 65-60. But Scribner in the first time for the Trojans in the finals ever, Dick, and they have nothing to be ashamed of. They played a great game. Well, and they have a lot of these players back. Darryl Pup, their leading scorer for the season, is only a sophomore. Tim Wobkin, the leading scorer in this game, is only a junior. He has 29 points. As you see, Pat Speck going to the bench. Speck is a senior, and Jim Mauck, another starter, is a senior. But they've got Dostal, the freshman. They've got Byron Alberts, the junior, coming back. And so Scribner has a lot to look forward to in the future, just as Grant did last year. Grant lost in the Class C2 championship to Henderson, brought everybody back this year, and it's Grant's turn this year, I guess you might say. They have 5 seniors in their starting lineup. Scott Bullock checks into the game for Grant, a 6'2 senior. Ryan Young at the line makes his first. He'll get the bonus. 31 points for Ryan Young. His average 31 and a half. He is one of the all-time career tournament scoring leaders also, Jeff. Of course, Bill Jackman, the career tournament scoring leader.
Second one also good, and it's 67-60, 10 seconds left. All the way, Mount, it's good. Jim Mount scores, but the buzzer goes off, and it's Grant winning the state championship, 67-62 over Scribner in Class C2, and there you see some happy Plainsmen. Probably a little frustrated a year ago. The coaches shake hands. But the Plainsmen come back this year. Scribner played a whale of a ball game, though. The Trojans led by as many as 12 in the first half. Grant fought its way back, though, and the Plainsmen win it 67-62. For Scribner, 29 points for Tim Watson. He had 21 in the first half, when Scribner built up its lead by as many as 12 and by 6 at halftime. Double figures also for Darrell Pupp, the 6'6 sophomore center. He had 11 points. And Jim Mauck added 10 for Scribner. Pat Sveck had 8. Byron Albers played but did not score, and Shane Dostal had 4, all in the first quarter, the freshman for Scribner. For Grant, Ryan Young scored 32 points. His average 31.5, and he scored 32 today. So for Ryan Young, 39 points in the first round, 18 points in the semifinals last night, 89 points in the tournament for Ryan Young. 12 points also in this game for Scott Rezac, 11 for Doug Jackman, 8 for Dan Jackman, and 4 for Alan Poppy. Scott Bullock and Tim Wilson both played briefly but did not score for Grant. And they end their season 24-1. They're only lost by 2 points to Bayard, who we'll see next in the Class C1 championship. And Scribner ends up 16-7. 67-62, Grant wins by 5. And now for the medals and trophy presentation, let's go to PA announcer Ed Kimball.
Now, the runner-up medals will be presented to Scribner High School, the Class C2 runner-up team, by their coach, Joel Wooten. As your name is called, Trojans, please step forward to receive your medal. Mark Carson. Shane Dostal. Darren Morris. Joe Bartek. John White. Kyle Schnur. Cam Everett. Tim Watkins. Jim Mouth. Byron Albert. Pat Beck. And Darrell Pupp. The runner-up trophy will be presented by Nebraska School Activities Association Board of Control member Bob Pease of Wisner-Pilger. Congratulations to the 16-7 Scribner Trojans runner-ups in Class C2 for 1984-85. Now, the Nebraska School Activities Association Board of Control member Bill Gogan of Ord will present the awards to the championship team. First, the special award to the coach, Don Bartholomew. Now, Coach Bartholomew, will you please present the gold medals to members of your championship team? Champs, come to center court when your name is called. Steve Snyder. Jeff Rezak. Bill Palmer. Kent Schilling. Scott Bullock. Troy Pankinen. Tim Wilson. Ryan Young. Alan Coffey. Scott Rezak. Doug Jackman. Dan Jackman. And for these outstanding athletes in their school, here is the 1985 Class C2 Nebraska High School Basketball Championship Trophy. Congratulations to the 24-1 Grant Plainsmen, C2 champions for 1985.
The final score is Grant 67, Scribner 62, and we'll be back to talk to the winning coach and some of his players after this timeout. We're back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, where Grant has won the Class C2 championship by the final score of 67-62. The Plainsmen have been in the finals for 4 straight years in Class C. This is the second year in Class C2. They won it 2 years ago, and they won it 3 years ago. Last year, Grant lost to Henderson in the finals, but today the Plainsmen get back on top with a 67-62 win over Scribner. Scribner played a whale of a game, though. The Trojans led by as many as 12 points in the first half. Grant came back, though, especially in the fourth quarter. Ryan Young had 32 points on the afternoon to lead Grant. And also for Grant, Doug Jackman had 10, Dan Jackman had 10, Scott Rezak had 12, and Alan Poppy had 4. And now we've got head coach Don Bartholomew, and it's a happy group at Grant. That was a tough one to win.
Hey, that was just a super basketball game. That's what the state tournament's all about. That's fantastic.
Did you believe your kids were still going to be able to come back even when you trailed by as many as 12 there in the second quarter?
Very definitely. There was never a time in this ball game that we didn't feel that if we would do things right the way we've done all year long, that we still had a shot at it.
At the half, you sounded like you were a little disgusted maybe with the defense your team had been playing, but that really seemed to be the key to victory in the second half, especially shutting down Robson.
Yeah. Defensively, that first half, we were getting beat about a half a step like we were yesterday, and we went in at halftime and talked about it and made some adjustments, and were able to come out the second half and play much better on defense.
Now, this is going to be tough for you to follow up over the years. Your first year at Grant, and you get a state title.
Oh, I don't know. You know, it's just an unbelievable feeling. You know, it's something you look forward to, and I'm just so happy for these kids. This has just been an outstanding group of kids to work for, and I love every one of them.
Okay, congratulations, and we'll be back right after this to talk with some of the Grant players. Grant has won the Class C2 Boys State Championship. With me now is Ryan Young, the leading scorer on the season, leading scorer in the state. It's got to be a thrill. Your team has been the bridesmaid now for a couple of years in football and basketball, the girls last week in basketball, and now to get that state championship.
Well, we went out first season, we just set this goal, this first goal, and we did it as a team, and this was our goal, and we went out to do it, and we got it, so we're happy.
Intensity seems like maybe your middle name. You really are intense out on the floor.
Well,
when you're behind, and you got to get the players psyched up, and I just try to get them going and bear down and play the best that we can, try to get their players going, and when we get going, we're hard to beat.
Okay, we've got a replay of you now in action today, scoring. You had 32 points in the game. You get a nice drive here.
We were supposed to go to the hole and see if we could get them in foul trouble, so I just took it to the hole, and I thought maybe I could draw a foul, and everybody backed off, and I just fell in off the glass. So.
32 points, most of them inside, though. You kind of had a tough go of it from the outside today.
My shot wouldn't fall, so I had to go to the hoop, so I just took it inside.
And still worked out. Okay, let's bring in Dan Jackman. You get the state championship. It's something that you guys really wanted. I know that last week made you a little bit frustrating cheering on the girls. You and your brother were two of the ones who are really going at it up there in the stands. This has got to make up for some of that.
Yeah, it really does. It's been a great feeling. We've been working hard all year, and got second last year and second football this year. This is what we wanted.
Does this maybe really make it special? I know that you guys were all on the team when your brother led the team to the state title and things like that. Does this one maybe feel a little bit more special since you guys contributed a little more?
Yeah, last time we were just student managers, and now this time we both started, and it's our first gold medal, and we're proud of it.
Okay, Dan, you scored a couple big hoops in the fourth quarter. Here's one of them that you got, the ball rolling on the floor. Kind of fun to watch yourself like this, huh?
Yeah, I wasn't ready for it, and I thought the whistle blew, and I just got lucky, I guess.
God lucky. But Grant, a good game, a good comeback. Did you feel like you could win it the whole way?
Yeah, I knew we could pull it out. We've been working together since we were freshmen, and we haven't had many losses, and I knew we could pull anything out.
Okay, Scott Rezak, why don't you step in? Had a good game today, 12 points, and it was a tough one though. Scribner really had you going the whole way. They really came after you.
Yeah, they're a good team. We knew coming in here they were like to run a lot, and we had to get back on defense and keep our knees bent and play good defense. In the first half we didn't do it so good. The second half we came out and got down into it.
Was it a scary feeling maybe amongst the team when you were down like 12 points at one point, 7 points at halftime? Were you guys scared at any point, do you think?
Not really. We got down. It was 21-8 when we played Bayard. We came back and took the lead, so we knew we could come back. We just had to play a lot harder and really dig down.
Okay, Alan Poppy, why don't you step in for a second, a 5'9" senior. How does it feel to get this state championship? It's something you guys have wanted.
Yeah, we really wanted it all this year, and we finally got it.
Does it feel any different maybe this year versus maybe the past couple of years when you were with the team when Bill Jackman helped lead Grant to state title?
Oh, yeah, we make you feel like we've done it a lot more than we did when we were freshmen. It feels great.
Anything maybe in particular that you thought was the key to victory, especially coming back in the second half?
Oh, we knew we could do it, and that's what we really knew we could do.
Okay. Doug Jackman, why don't you step in for a second? Had a good game, had 10 points today, and state championship medal, something to show off to your brother, I suppose.
Yeah, he's got more than we do, so it's kind of hard to show him off.
What about the comeback? Was there anything maybe at halftime that you guys sat down and said with one another as far as maybe really getting back into the game?
We just had to slow down and pick up the intensity a little bit and keep the turnovers low.
Okay, still good to be a state champion. You guys were really celebrating out there.
Yeah, it was great.
Okay. So Grant wins the Class C2 Boys State Championship over Scribner by the final count of 67-62. The Plainsmen win it this year, finished second last year to Henderson, but now Grant is back on top. Dick?
And Jeff, the Jackman twins tell me they do not date the Tiff twins on the Grant girls basketball team that we saw last week. Congratulations to all the players for the Grant Plainsmen. 67-62 winners over Scribner in the Class C2 championship game. Well, our next game is the Class C1 title game between Bayard and Arlington, a battle of unbeaten. On the Nebraska UTV Network, we'll be bringing you that game in its entirety live. And we will be cutting away on Channel 10 and 11 for the Big 8 college championship game, the Big 8 tournament title game between Oklahoma and Iowa State. That starts at 1. And then we'll have highlights of this C1 game later tonight. But for those of you watching on the Nebraska UTV Network, Bayard 25-0, Arlington 24-0, coming up in just a few moments. For now, from the Devaney Sports Center, again, your final score in Class C2, Grant 67 and Scribner 62. So long for now.